Hi, this is Ahmed from Loop Logic Systems, and today I'm going to be going over the system I built on n8n. So it's basically a lead enrichment and qualification and outreach system. So basically, the core of the system is that let's say that you have some leads on an Airtable base, and you just have their website URL and some other things on that lead. Like I'll show you the Airtable base. This is your lead table which you have. You have the name of the business, the address of the business, the category, and the website of the business. Suppose you have this information on a couple of businesses, and you want and so basically what the system will do is it will grab those leads, it will enrich those leads, and then it will store them into separate Airtable tables on the same base of high-end leads and mid-tier leads, and then it will reach out to those leads. So it's basically a lead enrichment and qualification system. Outreach systems and lead scraper systems can also be connected to it for it to automatically be part of your business. So today I'm going to be going over this whole system, and I'll show you what the system does, and I'll also show you a quick demonstration of the system at the end of the video. So stick around for the demonstration, and yeah, let's continue. So this is the first part of the system, and it's an Airtable node. So this node gets the lead from an Airtable base, which already has leads in it from a lead scraper. So I showed the table to you. This is the table with the leads in it. It has the name, address, category, and website of the business, and all of these can be inputted into this table through a lead scraper. So suppose you have a lead scraper over here, which has all this, which puts all this information in table. So this node gets the leads from an Airtable table, which already has the leads in it from a lead scraper. So this is the second section of the system, and this section is for lead enrichment and qualification. So the first node is an HTTPS node, and the HTTPS node posts a request to a lead enrichment service of your choice. In this case, it's Apollo. It sends the request and it comes back with a lot of information on the lead, as much as it was available on the internet or the software or on the software. So basically, it will send them specifically in all the information we have in our Airtable in the table in our Airtable to a lead enrichment service, and the lead enrichment service will grab all of the information it has on the lead, and it will give us all of the information it has on the lead. It will give us that information back. The next node is a set node, which is for the convenience of only leading through the JSON fields, which we will be using later. Obviously, there's a lot of information in certain businesses on the internet, and we only need information which we'll be working on with later in the system. So that's what the set node does. The next node is the filter node. So basically, what the filter node does over here is it filters out the businesses or the leads which will not read. Sometimes the enrichment service returns us a lead which has no data on it, so it will return that lead as undefined, and it will just get filtered through. It will not pass on to the next node. The next node is another Airtable node, and this node just stores all of the enriched information in a separate table. I'll show you the table really quick. This is the enriched leads table. It will store all of this information which our enrichment service returns. It will store all of this information in a separate Airtable base. The next is a basic LLM chain. That LLM chain is a summary and analysis. That LLM chain is used for summary and analysis, and it's connected to Google Gemini chat model. So basically, it's prompted to thoroughly analyze the lead and on all of the information we got after enriching it, and write a short summary and include keywords in its output. This is very important. We have prompted it to include keywords in its output if it's a highly qualified lead or a mid-tier lead or a lead not worth reaching out to. These keywords will help us separate the lead later into different branches, so we can do different stuff with it. The next is the switch node, which separates the lead into different ways. If they're a high qualifying lead, they will go into a different branch, and if they're a mid qualifying lead, if they're a mid tier lead, they'll go into a different branch. And if they're like a very low tier lead and not worth reaching out to, they'll just it'll do nothing. The system will stop and it will get discarded. And the AI is actually very accurate if you feed it very specific instructions on what type of a business you have. And if you explain your whole business model to the AI, it'll actually decide really efficiently which leads are highly qualifying, which leads are mid tier, and which leads are low tier. Right now, I've told it that I own a property and casualty insurance company, so which works with small businesses. So it's qualifying on those measures. So yeah, now I'll move on to the next section of the automation. So now this is the next section of the automation, the green part you see. So basically, all of the high qualifying leads get stored in the get to this part of the automation through the switch node. So the switch node only lets the highly qualifying leads through. So it'll basically first of all, there's an Airtable node, and the Airtable node will save the summary of the highly qualifying lead into another table in our Airtable base, and it will store the summary of that lead, and obviously you can store more information if you wanted to. Then it goes to another basic LLM chain. Now, this LLM chain is used to draft a customized and personalized email for that specific client. It drafts a personalized email for that client on to pitch them our idea or to sell them on or to sell our service to them. So it will derive a personalized and draft a personalized email. And then, as you can see, our last one, the Gmail node, is currently deactivated because I obviously don't want to send an email to these businesses right now. It's deactivated. We'll just send the email which the AI has drafted. It'll just send that email through to the business which it's supposed to send it to. So that this part of the automation, and I will move on to the next part. Now, this is the last part of this automation. This is the part where the mid-tier leads will come through, and then it'll store the summary of the mid-tier lead into a separate Airtable base, and the leads which are mid-tier will get stored the summary of the leads which are mid-tier will get stored in separate Airtable base. Then the Airtable node saves to these other Airtable base. Then the last one is Gmail node, which is currently deactivated, and the Gmail node sends a less personal. It's still personalized with some dynamic JSON fields, but it's not like AI drafting the email. It's a less personal, more static email to that lead. So that's what this whole system is about. And now I'll show you a quick demonstration of the system. It's getting the leads, it's enriching them, it's storing the enriched leads in table. I'll show you the enriched leads which are stored. So here are all of the enriched leads which have been stored. 20 leads. We got leads from this table, there is 20. Enriched leads, there are 20 enriched leads over here. Some enriched leads don't have all of these sections filled up, but yeah, most of them do, as they get all of this information. So this is how it enriches the leads and gives those leads back to us. It gives us the revenue, a description of the lead, city, the number, the Facebook, the Twitter, the LinkedIn, the website, and the name of the businesses. So this is how this works. And leads in another table in our base. Yes, all of the summaries are stored over here, on which only 11 leads were high quality from those 10. As you can see, 8 were low tier, 1 was mid tier, and 11 were highly qualifying leads. Drafting an email right now. Now I'll draft their email, and obviously, if you this is just one part of what this whole automation can do. This automation can be customized to a level far beyond this. There can be a whole outreach system connected which would wait for responses and reply back to them and constantly argue with them. N8n is a really powerful tool, and you can really build a lot of very cool stuff with N8n, very powerful automations. This is just one part of what you can build. You can attach full lead scrapers over here. You can attach full outreach systems over here. You can do a lot of stuff with N8n. It's currently drafting an email. So, yeah, this problems happen sometimes The service has been receiving too many requests from you. So basically, now I can run this again, but I'll show you an example of an email. So this is an email that would have generated. As you can see, it generates quite a good email. But obviously, these kinds of problems wouldn't be happening in a production systems. This is just a problem that happens during testing. But it was stuck on the last item that it did create all of these items. And you can just do this. I'll show you. There was one mid-tier lead and there were 11 high-tier leads. So yeah, that's how this whole system works. And I hope you like the system. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.